guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are watching this, it is Christmas Day, I think. So Merry Christmas to you and your family. I hope you guys have a freaking awesome day. Regardless of whatever you're doing, eat lots, drink a bit, sleep lots, just enjoy the day. I myself right now, as you guys are watching this, will be in New Zealand having a good time with my family, which I just cannot wait for. But today we're working on the Datsun once again, and I'm pretty excited because I've spent the most money I've ever spent on some tires for a street car. The Datsun, I thought, deserves some beautiful tires. For all the other money that we're spending on this car, we may as well spend good money on tires. And also, tires can literally change the way a wheel looks, especially the size of the tire. So currently we're running 225/50 16 tires on our 16 by 9.5 inch fully custom made wheels. And whilst the tires don't look terrible, I just think they look a little too large, and then that kind of takes away from the wheel and the dish of the wheel and the way it looks. Also, the wheels are absolutely filthy, but also the wheels don't actually fit properly up front as well with these big tires on them, so they kind of hit the guards as we turn, and I don't want to cut the guards anymore. We're going to do a nicer cut on these guards before we put the flares on, because the flares sit quite a bit higher than the cut, so we will make a nice cut there. But at the back here, I don't want to cut any more off, and the tires currently hit as you turn. And I just wanted a really tough look. I've been researching so many different Datsun Zs online to see the exact tire look that I wanted, and the semi-slick, straight kind of sidewall tire just looks so freaking tough. So we've gone ahead and we've bought ourselves some Nankang AR1s. Shout out to Marcus McCarthy and Traction Tyre Centre for hooking these tires up for us. They weren't actually super easy to find just because of the size. 225/45 16 is a very hard tire size to find, and from what I hear, these Nankang AR1s are a pretty good tire. Now let's be honest, we will not be pushing these tires to the limit. This car is not a track car, it's just a beautiful weekend driver. I may enter it in like a classics event or something like that, you know, on a track day every now and then, because I think that will be awesome fun to go to. And obviously the car is going to make power, and it's going to have a half cage in it at some point as well. So I think, you know, at least we'll be prepared with these beautiful tires. But if I'm honest, I'm putting these tires on the car for looks. I used to have 215/45s on this, but they were too much stretch for my liking, and also they made the car sit really low. Now the problem with these old cars is the rails sit really low on them. So whilst the sills might be quite high off the ground, the rails sit quite a bit lower than the sills, and so it's not necessarily at a legal height, which is no good. And also you're going over speed bumps and you're just scraping the bottom of the car. It's really not a good time. So the tires actually just help lift the car, you know, 10 or so mils off the ground with that bigger tire and sidewall type deal. So the 225/45 seems to be the perfect size tire, but we're not going to be able to tell until we actually swap them over. So what we'll do, we're going to whip the wheels off the car. They're filthy, so I'm going to give them a spray down. We're going to take the tires off, and we're going to fit our new tires, which I'm super excited about. Also, a quick update with the paint. Obviously we painted this in the booth. I was pretty happy with it, but this rear quarter here I was not super happy with. So just in my spare time, I've actually gone ahead, I sanded it down, I masked the whole car off, and I actually resprayed this rear quarter. And as you can see, I'm part way through wet sand and polishing it. So there's the polished part right there, and the rest of it's been wet sanded, and then we're blending it up the top. It come out awesome, so it's much better now. We just made a couple of wee mistakes with the bodywork, and then obviously once it got sprayed, you can see the mistakes. I wasn't happy with it. It's now nice and flat. And I didn't do too bad of a job respraying it, thanks to all the advice from Mr. Z when we first sprayed it. So that's pretty cool. And also, the list of things for this car actually just keeps growing. I'm going to get rid of these bride seats, mostly because they're a bit big for the car. You can see they actually sit against the door card here. And I'm going to get some smaller, old school, like Recaro fishnet style seats, I think, for the car, because they are going to suit the interior a little bit more. But anyway, that is enough talking. Let's get the car in the air, get the wheels off, strip the tires, and frickin' fit our new super expensive tires, which I should not be buying, but I bought. Sorry to my bank account. Let's do it. You. definitely an improvement. They need a polish for sure, but they definitely clean up nicely. I will take the time to polish them sometime and later down the road. We've still got to put the car together, so no point polishing these things now because they'll probably fade by the time we actually get the car on the road. But now's the moment of truth. Chuck the sticky boy onto the big deep dish guy. Let's go. So that tyre went on absolutely beautifully. No struggles whatsoever, which is great because semis are usually a little harder to get on. And my God, it looks so good. Whew. How good is that? Look at that, just the perfect amount, a little bit of stretch, nothing crazy. Won't attract too much attention, but that is just a freaking good looking tyre and a good looking wheel. So I'll give you a little bit of context. So that's the old looking tyre. And this is the new looking tyre. So it's just a bit more tough looking, obviously a little smaller, which helps the rim just look a little bit bigger as well, which is nice. So let's go ahead and slap it on the front of the car. Juicy AF. So I went ahead and just taped one of the flares on to kind of see how it's all gonna look. Wow, so freaking good. It's such a tough looking tyre. Stoked, that's the exact look that I've been going for. How freaking good. Obviously we are going to fully sand and paint these flares and we'll have the rubber liner behind them. We're gonna do them all super nicely. We're gonna do riv nuts with nice black hardware, so it's going to look super clean, and I'll probably have the shape of the flare kind of in a bit closer as well with the guard, but you've got to kind of use the heat gun and kind of heat them up and shape them properly before you do all your painting and all that, but it looks just so freaking good. I'm not going to make you guys sit through watching me fit another tyre to a rim with the back one, so we're just going to do the old YouTube magic to get it done. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that, a wild fender flare appeared out of nowhere. That looks freaking tough. Look at that. So we're actually running a spacer on the rear at the moment, a wee one, so I'll take that off and it's literally going to have the fitment running like flush with the guard, which is going to be absolutely fantastic because I'm not really interested in getting defected in this thing if I can help it. The fender flares are just mocked up at the moment. We run the rubber lining on the inside of the fender flares, have them all painted, so we're far from obviously final fitment at this stage, but it's all just for mock-up purposes because it gives us a little bit of motivation kind of seeing this thing and how it could look once it's finished in its final form. But you can kind of start to see, dang, yeah, it's gonna look freaking awesome. These tyres, I tell you what, they just make all the difference. Absolutely worth the money. So they were $1,023, I think, Australian for these 4 tyres. Obviously they'll last ages because this car is just a weekend car. Like honestly, you get like 90 days to drive it on the Club Rego, and I drive it like 25 days of the year. Granted, it's not running or anything at the moment, but when it was, yeah, I drove it like 25 days of the year or something. It's kind of one of those cars that you just take out on a sunny weekend day. So just absolutely worth the money. This car deserves to have the cash spent on it and have everything done properly, but I'm over the moon. I forgot how good these wheels look when they're actually clean. Damn, yeah, it's bloody nice. That is a wrap on that video, guys. My vision is finally starting to come to fruition. It's starting to look tough, and I'm very excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this wee Datsun video. Not sure if I'll have another video out before the end of the year. We are working on my friend's Land Rover Defender, I think, in New Zealand, and also the Datsun 180B, which we worked on this channel like 4 years ago. So I may film some of that stuff and chuck it out, plus just the trip to New Zealand. I may film some stuff because it's going to be awesome. But if I don't post before New Year's, guys, thank you for all of the support this year on the channel. We did over 1.1 million views on the channel. The channel grew by more than 10,000 subscribers, so huge year for us. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you. You're all amazing. I hope you have a fun and safe Christmas and New Year's, and yeah, I'll see you in the next freaking video where we're either building the new version of that thing or putting that thing back together. But thank you guys so much. Cheers. You. Peace. Bye.